got the truck in the backyard. Still got some trash to get through. But the shipping container is back here. Got some work to do to the shipping container. It's gonna sound a little echoey. Got some leaks, some holes, some patching to do. Got some more holes in the back. They originally did have some shelving in here, so I'm gonna have to redo some of that stuff.
Your boss didn't have none of these for sale?
Nah. And if they did, they would have been like $3 to $5 grand for one of those, because they were brand new.
Oh, he had brand new ones.
Yeah, he had brand new ones. And I got all of this set up on the side. Now time to start putting some stuff in and around. We got it, right, Dad?
Yeah, it's done, buddy. It's here.
And then this will be next.
Hey, if you do want to cut windows in it. Huh?
If I want to put windows in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about it.
Oh, put you at least a hood vent.
A vent. I'm gonna put a vent with a fan up at the top.
At least a vent. Well, no, you put it on the side.
No, up at the top.
Put it on the side.
Heat travels up.
Yeah, you put it on the side. Listen carefully. You put it on the side. Put your fan out here. You use one of those dry ducts. Come out here. Use dry duct right there.
Oh, and go down.
And
That way you don't get moisture.
Air out. That way you don't look. Don't never put a hole through a roof. Never put a hole through a roof.
Yeah, I guess if I don't have to.
If you don't have to, don't never put a hole through a roof.
You know, that's what?
That's a vent right there.
Yeah, the little bitty vent.
That's one.
They should have two. Right that way.
There's
There's
four.
Yeah, one on either
That's
side.
vents right there.
They don't work, I tell you that right now.
Well, no. The way you make those work now, if you want, you can get some PVC pipe.
Oh, and cut them out?
Look, you cut that circle out, you put your PVC joint right there, and you come out, and you go all the way down there, then you hook it to this one. And that's where you put your fan at. You put your that,
And it sucks both of them.
and let them sit and suck the heat out. And look, that's on that just on
The only way I'm gonna be able to get 220 is to tie in from here.
what?
It's to tie in from there.
Just like
Oh look, they already look like they did it. So that should be the breaker or a fuse for this, right?
Just like we did it.
That's a fuse box. So
Yeah,
if I take the
what
fuse
that
box
is,
and I
that's a-
tie it off on the opposite side,
That's a throwout panel.
I could, yeah, but if I tie in from the opposite side, I could run 220 that way. Right? You got,
What you'd have to do is you'd got to put another junction box right there.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I could tee off of that, leave that right
That
there,
shit stinks.
and then tee the 220 that way.
Yeah.
All right, cool. At least I can get 220 to it. At least I think it runs 220. Yeah, it runs 220.
Yeah, it's 220. Ain't no doubt in my mind.
And then I got these I could put in at some point if I decide to put them in.
Well,
All right, well, time to start putting stuff in the shed. I guess we go grab the table now.
see, the only problem with putting doors in these is this. Then you gotta get you make an insert. I frame these already. See, we don't use these walls. What we do, when you come in here and you frame this out for a living quarter, you come in here and you pop a line. And you put some metal studs.
Oh, you need to stud your whole.
Stud all of this. You stud all of this on the inside. Then first you insulate this. You know, y'all got them glue pins, right?
Mm-hmm.
You put them glue pins all over this. Then you get some that mineral wool insulation. I know y'all get that shit by the fucking tonnage. I know y'all do.
Oh yeah.
You push that mineral wool, you put them buttons on there, and you come with that 3-inch piece of track, and you build your an artificial wall right here. Then you go do the same thing on this side, and then they put drop ceilings in it, to where you can drop the ceiling. Or that's where they put all that shit at.
Yeah, they hide all of it up at the
All
top.
your electrical shit goes up top. Like when you run an electric line in here, you just drop them down here. You run your electric lines on top.
I thought about that. What I could do is I could get some sheet metal from work, some thin sheet metal that I could bend, and if I put the electrical lines, I can use magnets and make it to where it sticks to the wall and covers everything.
Where you work at, son?
Yeah, I
You
know.
work in the ideal place to get everything you need to put this thing together.
Got to talk to the right people.
You just got to talk to, you got to communicate with the right people in the yard.
Yeah.
I promise.
Got to talk to the right people. Talking to the right people make everything work.
You come in here. Hey, you used to put insulation in between this, and then you shoot 1x4s.
Oh, to the wall.
To the wall. Because they will put this shit on the outside.
I noticed that there's a couple vents in the wall. Should I try to vent this shit back out? Or just move it?
Trust me. That's why we used to do what we do. And then you put metal. Once you frame it out with metal studs, you can put sheetrock on the metal studs. You can put paneling.
That was already it was a flat wall.
Right. That way. Exactly. And then plus we had to put shit in the walls. You know, you had an electrical outlet you had to put right here. And then you come in here with your bunk beds. I mean, yeah. Look, I seen them already. We built them already. Fuck. Oh, dude, by the time that thing, when you take a picture of it, by the time you done, you put the floor in, because they got flooring and then they put
I ain't putting no flooring in this
no,
thing.
they put commercial flooring in it.
I'm gonna fix the spots that are wrong with it, and then I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna be like, hey, Alexi, I need some paint. He gonna give me about 5 gallons of that boat paint. I'm gonna put a coat. I'm gonna put another coat. I'm gonna put another coat. I'm gonna put another coat. And then guess what I'm gonna do when I put that last coat?
The best thing to do with this,
I'm gonna say, hey, you got some of that glass that I could put down? And I'm gonna sprinkle the glass all over the top, and it's gonna be slippery.
Best thing to do with this before you do anything with it.
Clean it out really well.
Out of it.
Yeah, clean it out really well.
That way you know your paint's gonna stick to it. Degrease it too, because I know they got some shit, man. You gonna paint the walls, you said, right?
I'm painting all of it, inside and outside. I'm probably gonna do white. So since the sun comes from that side, I'm gonna do white on this wall and white
Well, I
on the
wouldn't
top
do
wall.
too much white. Me and you gonna do a lot of welding in here.
Well, I'm not gonna
I
paint
do
it
it
just yet.
off white.
I'm not painting it just yet. I'm gonna do all of the welding stuff that I want, and then I'm gonna paint it after. But just problem spots, like all the stuff that's rusted down at the bottom, I'm gonna hit all of that.
And I know this might sound crazy, but if you do a white,
Off white.
do a flat white.
I'm gonna do whatever white I can get for free.
No. Yeah, but when
Free 99.
yeah, make sure it's a flat
Free
white.
99. If I could get the paint for free, I'm gonna use the paint for free.
If you come in here and this bitch is white, and you weld it right here,
Yeah, you talking about smoke.
no, that light will bounce off. No, that light will bounce off.
If I'm welding inside this motherfucker and I got ventilation pulling stuff out, I'm gonna have a ventilation tube wherever I'm welding. But the majority of welding that I'm going to try to do is going to be here, right here. Well, I'm getting there. Getting it done. Time is a bitch. Yeah, I guess we go get the table out the camper now. All right. So, shipping containers in the backyard. I just got finished pressure washing it, and I used some spray paint to mark out the areas that need to be fixed that I noticed on this shipping container. There's a couple good things and a couple bad things. The majority of the floor is solid. In 3 spots, it's a little bad, and by a little bad, I mean it's bad. And I started marking out kind of how I want to do some of the electric. So I will point out some of the first spots with the floor. This is one spot on the floor that's soft that I'm gonna have to replace. This spot over here, I'm probably gonna have to replace at least about 4 foot of the wood right here. I'm probably gonna use some 2x6s to redo this to where I could keep the original floor as much as possible. I got a couple spots in the top that have some pinholes, which I'm going to weld some plate on top of that, but also I'm gonna put a roof on top of it in order to help mitigate some of that water from sitting up top. There's a couple spots there. There's some little pinholes that they got on the side that I have to fill. So mapping out everything. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put my electrical box on this side, so it's in the middle of the shipping container. So whenever I run my wires, whatever wires I run that way are gonna be same length as whatever wires I run that way. From here is gonna be, the 220 is gonna be ran up at the top. I'm gonna put a hole on this side and run the 220 in. That's gonna feed to this electrical box, and then from there I'm gonna branch out and try to stay up at the top as much as possible for my wires. And I'm gonna come down this way to my table to where I'm gonna have 3 wires on this side. The other spot that I have this spot problem with the floor is back this way. Once I do get the floor fixed, the next step of fixing the floor is to paint everything. So I will paint this floor to help seal it a little bit, but first I have to let this dry out as much as possible before I put any paint on this floor, because I don't want to trap moisture in the wood. So back there's gonna be one table. I do have another table that's just like this one, that's a bit longer, which is gonna go on this side right here. So I'll have a table here and a table here. And then I do have some lights that I bought from Harbor Freight. So I got 2 5,500 lumen lights. They were $22 a piece, which I think was pretty cheap for these lights. I was gonna go for the 10,000 lumen ones, but those were $54 a piece. And I figured for 44 bucks, roughly $44, I get 11,000 lumens for 2 lights, which they're 4-foot lights, which should light this place up relatively easy. So that's what I have to do. I will be posting videos on the work that I do to fix these floors and everything a little bit more in depth. There's a lot of stuff that I have to patch, and also there's a lot of stuff that I am going to paint. I am going to paint the inside of this to where it looks better. I'm probably going to go with the white to where the light kind of reflects and it makes it a bit brighter. Eventually I will paint the outside of it white or a lighter color to where it doesn't get as hot inside of the shipping container. But for right now, I'm going to start cleaning up the corner and outside. I just want to give y'all an update on what I have for the shipping container as of right now. Thank you guys for following along. Please like and subscribe on this video, and I will catch y'all next time.